Peace to all my Sanjata soldiers, my dark truth troopers, and my create your own path patriots. Welcome again to another episode of the Dark Truth Imaginations, where we celebrate all things art and we tell nothing but the truth. Today's episode, I'm going to introduce you to another one of my favorite artists. And again, he's my son, my other son. This is the oldest one, Ausar Bennett. But first, as always, I need my theme music.
My name is Ausar Bennett. I'm 21 years old, and I'm an artist. I'm a painter, draftsman. I do digital art. I did a little animation, like I know how it works. I'm a musician as well. I play the violin, and I learned piano, and I practice piano on campus a little bit sometimes. After I get my degree, I want to go to Japan as an English teacher through the JET program. So having a degree is one of the requirements, pretty much the only requirement to go, and that's how a lot of people get from America to Japan. I recently switched from getting my BA to my BFA, which is just, it's like Bachelor of Arts to Bachelors of Fine Arts. And for Fine Arts, you just take more classes, like some art history classes, a lot more studio classes. Like I have to take every discipline, so I have to take printmaking, painting, digital art, sculpture, things like that. I go to Brooklyn College. I feel like, I don't like school, but I think I like the school. I appreciate the school for what it is, but personally it feels annoying, but I do. This semester is the first semester I feel like I got something out of it, so where should I start? So this one was inspired by a song from one of my favorite music producers. Basically, there's no words in the song. It's kind of like he took this old recording of Dorothy Ashby, who's a jazz harpist. Took a song that she was playing, and he like mashed it up and put his own beat behind it, and it gave me the feeling of flying through the galaxy, just kind of like being in space, like aloft. So that's where that comes from. So there's all of, so these are a lot of, like some of these are still life, some of these are replications of paintings that I had to do for class. This one is a master copy of Starry Night on the Rhone by, what's his name? Van Gogh. So I use this thing called a palette knife, which is what you generally use to mix paint. But it's a tool as well. A lot of painters use it, and it creates that textured look. Like I took the palette knife and I kind of had to make horizontal strokes all across the entire painting and pick my colors, mix my colors. It was at first it was kind of difficult because first of all I did the entire painting with a paintbrush, and I looked at it and I was like, why is the texture not matching the picture of the original painting? And I looked closer when I was like 75% of the way done, and I realized that it's a palette knife, so I had to redo the entire painting. That one, the assignment was to write a list of things that we do like and a list of things that we don't like. And I really like sunsets, so that was the thing that I ended up painting. So that is one of the last assignments was to do a self-portrait. And I had to base the technique that I used off of another painter. So yeah, that was based off of a painter named Cedric Huckabee. The way that he uses shapes and forms to paint faces instead of like mixing it. You can kind of see the colors are just kind of flatly laid next to each other. So I had to look at my face and like see like what parts of my face dipped, where the creases fell. Like I had to have a good understanding of the planes of the face to make that painting. So that is, I want to say that's Cedric Huckabee. I didn't really do a lot of research on this painting in particular because this was actually classwork. So yeah, I only had about 3 hours to do it. I had to do a painting of his painting because that's when the class was learning about doing portraiture. So that is my best friend. That's actually her Christmas present that I have. So that is charcoal. I think I failed to mention that that's one of the mediums that I use. Yeah, so basically the way that I draw with charcoal, I don't really like my method for charcoal because when I look at a lot of other charcoal drawings, like they kind of bring things out of value, where I just kind of draw on top of it and then put value on top of the drawing. So I kind of treat it differently. I want to try doing it that way instead, because it's like a drawing, but with a medium that isn't really for that. I mean, you do draw with charcoal, but it's a different yeah, I treat it like a pencil. It's very easy to make mistakes with digital art because it's so easy to correct. Like you could just backspace or Control Z for Photoshop, or with Procreate you just tap 2 fingers on it and you just undo. But with traditional work, a lot of it you just you either work with the accident, like in the words of Bob Ross, make happy accidents, things like that. So a lot of people, they see my artwork and they're like, one of the first things they do is talk about how bad at art they are, and like how they wish they could be better, but that they just don't have the touch or the talent. But like honestly, this is not, I wasn't just born doing artwork. I mean, I'm sure I'm not gonna be the first or last person you hear this from, but you just gotta practice. Like anything takes some time, some effort, a lot of effort to get better at. If you want to be a master at something, you have to start off as a fool. Starting out, so I started out doing digital art. I mean, I didn't start out, but I did a lot of digital art for years before I started making paintings and things like that. So I was making a lot of mistakes, and I had a lot of like preconceived ideas in my head about my method, or like how art should look. Like I said before, a lot of my digital, my earlier digital works from like even this year before, they look a little weird, a little too polished. And I took my first painting class this semester, and now after I've made all these paintings, I kind of understand how to work the program better to bring out brushstrokes and color. I understand color a lot more. Digital is very good for like just belting out work and getting better through repetition, because you can just undo, erase, could like just delete everything and start over. But having that like touch, it does like add something that I think a lot of artists should be able to have. Like you shouldn't be solely digital or solely traditional. I mean, like you could be better at one of the two, but I think doing both just makes you overall more well-rounded as an artist. My Instagram is Art of Ausar, AUSAR. My regular Instagram is ausar.b, AUSAR.B. It's in Ausar Bennett, which is my name.
Well, there you have it. That's my boy, all grown up, doing his thing. I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of Tao. Anyway, if you like that video, please share, subscribe, and like it. Make some comments. Just be nice. Just be nice.